Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Christina with Cuddles by Christina. And happy Friday everyone. We made it. I hope everyone had a good week and is going to have a really fun weekend. So let me know in the comments if you have any special weekend plans. So I am here tonight with just two of my vintage dolls. So I just wanted to do, I don't think this is a hashtag that's hosted by anyone, correct me if I'm wrong, but I figured this is a little flashback Friday with my PJ Sparkles. Does anyone remember her? She still lights up. Can you see? She lights up and she's still so cute. So that's my childhood PJ Sparkles. And this is a Kenner doll who is called Christina Blessings. And that's why I got her as a child, because we share a name. But isn't she cute? And so she is a doll that can kneel in prayer. So she was supposed to pray with you. Isn't that cute? I think she's adorable still. So yeah, I am just rocking the nostalgic 80s vibe while I answer some fun tag questions that I was given to by Melissa over at Melissa Valentine's Nursery. So she tagged me and Sandra. I watched Sandra's video earlier today. She had some great stories with these answers. So there's 50 questions, guys. So I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Some of them will be just one-word answers, honestly. Some of them will have stories, but I hope I don't offend anyone or turn anyone off, lose any subscribers. No, so they're not doll-related questions, but they're still just fun, you know, getting to know you questions. And I think that is the other great part of this hobby. So yeah, so I'm just gonna dive right in with some of these. So the first one just says wet your bed. And I don't know if that asks, did I used to wet the bed? Do I currently wet the bed? Do I have someone who wets the bed instead of me? I don't know exactly why it was phrased like that. But the answer is no. No. Next question is beer or wine? Wine. White, preferably, the sweeter the better. I don't mind beer, honestly, but wine, definitely. The next question is, are you drunk? No, not yet. As you can see, this bottle still has plenty left in it that I've been enjoying this evening. The next question is, are you sleepy? Yes, very. Very sleepy always. Even when I get a full night's sleep, never seems to be enough. So the next question is, are you a flirt? Not intentionally, not on purpose. Apparently I can be a bit of one. So, okay, this one I do have a story for. So I used to play poker with a group of people, most of which who were, you know, older. It was one of my best friends, Samantha, and some people at just this local bar. They used to do poker nights or whatever. And then we would do poker nights at other people's houses. So I was probably like 24, 25 at the time, and there was this guy who was older than me. He was in his 50s, mind you, so he's like closer to my parents' age. In fact, I think his kids like were around my age. So this guy was cool, you know, we would all laugh, hang out together. I didn't think anything of it until one day my friend Samantha comes up to me and she goes, hey, you know Jim likes you, right? And I go, yeah, I like Jim too. Yeah, he's cool. You know, yeah, he's fun. She goes, no, he likes you, like wants to date you. And I was like, oh, I can't do it. No, no, I don't see him that way. And Samantha was like, I know, I got this. Don't worry. I'll talk to him for you. Samantha had to tell this older guy, Jim, that it wasn't going to happen between us. I guess he just thought I was so cute and so funny and blah, 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 whenever we would talk during poker, and I didn't think anything of it. But yeah, it was awkward, but he wasn't like creepy about it after. He didn't like push anything or act inappropriately. Like, it was still just, he was still just way too old. So I guess I can flirt without realizing. There you go. So the next question is, do you talk to animals? Of course, I talk to my cat all the time. How else am I supposed to communicate? Yes, I love talking to my cat, even though he doesn't always listen. So next question is, hungry 24/7. Look, you don't get these curves by not eating. Listen, I don't miss too many meals. Clearly, I don't miss too many meals. Okay? Yeah, I'm usually hungry. Not gonna lie. Usually, if someone says, hey, you want something to eat, I'll usually say yes. So it's a problem. It's a problem we're working on. So the next question is, cry in public. All the time. All the time. Sorry if my camera is shaking. My table is very wobbly. All right, hopefully that'll stay. I am very much a crier. Yes, in public, in private, doesn't matter who it's in front of. In fact, my most recent, well, not my most recent crying episode, that's like almost every day lately, but like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, my mom had sent like a group text in the family group chat saying that she had been really worried about the huge live oak tree in her backyard, like hanging over the roof. Like, one bad storm and the tree could ruin the roof or the screen enclosure. So a company had been like going around the neighborhood, knocked on her door and said, hey, would you like us to remove that tree? You know, it could be a hazard. So it was kind of like perfect timing. It was really weird. And she was like, yes, you know, please. So they gave her, you know, an estimate or whatever. They cut down this huge live oak. When I went back to my mom's house and I saw that space in the backyard, they had ground down the tree trunk, I cried. I cried because that damn tree had been there my entire life. Not that I ever climbed it. It wasn't like I had a tree house up there, or it was some like, you know, childhood memory like attached to the specific tree. It was just always there, always shading the backyard. I know that sounds crazy, but yes, I cry all the time. And the next question is, always happy. Well, if I'm crying in public, I can't always be happy. So I guess not always. No, I try to be. I try to be a very uplifting, bubbly, happy person. And I think for the most part I am, but you know, nobody's happy 24/7. I think that's delusional and would be a little scary if someone just constantly had this grin plastered on their face. Wasn't there a movie like that, like Smile or something, that horror movie where you just like keep grinning? I don't know. I don't like horror movies. But I'm happy as much as possible. I'll put it like that. Number 10 is, do you have a stalker? Not that I'm aware of. I hope not. Then the next question is, can you fart in public? Like, do I have the ability to fart? Or do I have permission to fart? Like, I don't understand the wording of that. Can you? Yes, I do have the ability. Like, yes, I can fart in public. You know, when you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, you can't always hold it in. So, yeah. And then the next question is, ever pee in the woods? Honestly, no. I was trying to think back about, like, you know, even when I was in Girl Scouts or anything, but no, I was never really like an outdoorsy girl, ever. So it wasn't like I went camping or hiking or outdoors a lot. So no, I can't really think of a time where I would have peed in the woods. Yeah, no. The next question is, are you impatient? Yes and no. So at work, I've been told by multiple customers and supervisors that I have the patience of a saint. When you're dealing with old people trying to figure out tickets online, day in, day out, yes, I can have patience when the need arises. Do I get impatient a lot of times internally? Yes. So I think I am impatient, I just hide it well. I do get impatient, looking forward to things like, a vacation coming up, or, the holidays, or a trip, or what have you. Yeah, I definitely get impatient, or if, I know a doll is coming, that always makes me impatient. But yeah, I can hide it reasonably well. Okay, so the next question is, do you cry during sad movies? Yes, already established I'm a crier. Oh my gosh, the last movie I saw in the movie theater, It Ends With Us. Did anyone see that? Loved the book. Cried reading the book, of course. The movie was so faithful. It was a very good adaptation, and I cried during that movie. Yes. Oh my God, one of the worst. Oh my God, when I saw Marley and Me. Did anyone see that? I made the mistake of watching that right after my childhood dog died. Now this movie is old, so hopefully it's not a spoiler, but I didn't know at the time that the dog dies at the end. And after just losing my dog, I was a sobbing, hysterical mess. Oh my God, that one and Pay It Forward. I was on the floor having convulsions over that movie. I was crying so hard at the end. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Pay It Forward. Titanic, of course. Sandra mentioned that one. You gotta love Titanic. Yeah, sad movies, happy movies. Pretty much most movies I will find at least one or two scenes to cry in. The next question is, would you marry a celebrity? Well, duh. So my childhood huge celebrity crush, I've always loved Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'm now way too old for him. We all know he only dates 25-year-olds after, or 25 and younger. Once you turn 25, you're kicked to the curb. So I wouldn't be able to date Leo. Love Leo. Oh my God, Robert Pattinson is my other huge crush. Oh my gosh, our Pats. Love him, love Twilight. When the news broke that he was having a baby with this chick I never heard of, I was so upset. I legit felt affronted by the news, because when he was dating Kristen Stewart, I was cool with it because it was Edward and Bella. I'm like, no, they belong together. But when they broke up and he was dating, other people, I don't even know who else he dated, and he's having a baby with this person, I'm like, no, not cool. Not cool, our Pats, but I still love him. So yeah, I mean, if it's the right celebrity, why not? Why not? So the next question is, are you a drama queen? Honey, I majored in theater. In college, I literally paid money to be a drama queen to get my certificate. Yes, I have always been into theater. I have always had a flair for the dramatic. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, I'm not about unnecessary drama. I don't just start drama just to cause it for fun. But to me, I think drama queen means that I just react strongly to things, is how I interpret it. And I do. I have very strong emotions. Sometimes it's not always warranted to the level of my reaction. But, it's never me, just stirring up stuff or starting drama. But yes, I will admit I'm a drama queen. And so is my nephew. My sister-in-law says all the time, every time my nephew like throws himself dramatically on the floor, you know, she'll go to my brother, yep, that's your sister, all right. That's your sister. He gets that from her. He doesn't get that from me. It runs in the family. So next question is, do you dance or sing in the car? Well, I usually take Lyft or Uber since I don't own a car, so I wouldn't sing or dance, you know, when I'm being picked up in a Lyft or Uber. But when I'm in the car with like my friends or my mom, sure, yeah, we'll blast some tunes, absolutely. Yeah, why not? Hang on, let me get a sip of this wine, actually. I'm getting a bit parched. Okay, so yeah, singing and dancing is always fun, as long as it's the right music. You know, you gotta have the right playlist going. The next question is, have you ever stolen a street sign before? No, but my sister has. She stole a giant P from Publix, and for a while she had it in her bathroom because she wanted to have a P in the place where you go pee. You see what she did there? So I was always the good girl. I never did anything like that. But yeah, my sister did steal the P from Publix. The next question is, do you dance or sing in the shower? Sometimes, but I don't usually have music going in the shower, so it's kind of hard. So not as much as you would think, and I don't want to slip in the shower. I don't want to be like busting a dance move and fall and like bust my hip or something. So yeah, very, very rarely. The next question is, have you ever forgotten your birthday? No. No, I've forgotten how old I am. I've had to ask my mom. So I'm turning 32, 33. What am I turning, Mom? But the day, no, I've never forgotten my birthday. The next question is, do you ever ask or answer stupid questions? Well, I answer stupid questions every day at work. And when my husband asks me stupid questions, or he'll say, can I ask you a stupid question? And my response is, better than anyone I know. I don't think I usually ask stupid questions. I probably have, I'll admit it. But if I'm asking, it's not stupid to me because I don't know. The next question is, how long can you stay without bathing? I think they mean go without bathing. I don't know why it says stay. How long can you go without bathing? I mean, it's usually only when I'm, sorry, my battery was running low. Usually that's only when I'm sick. So like 3 days maybe, you know, after like 3-4 days, then it gets to be a problem. So I've never gone more than that, just when I'm sick. So the next question is, would you give all your money to charity? Well, sure, if I had millions. I mean, not in my current financial situation. No, but of course I would love to give to a lot of worthy causes. You know, I think the ASPCA is a very good cause. St. Jude's, like those are the top 2 I would support, I think. But right now, I'm my own charity case. So, yeah. The next question is, do you enjoy watching cartoons or anime? Like vintage cartoons. Yeah, I would still I love watching, you know, the old cartoons like the Smurfs or Rainbow Bright or Hound Puppies even. What else? Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah, like sometimes I'll just go on YouTube and watch vintage cartoons, but like recent cartoons, I mean, I guess like Futurama, Simpsons, like shows like that, you know, I'll watch them once in a while. But they're not my favorite, so no, there's no cartoons that I like actively actively watch. So next question is, have you ever laughed at the wrong moment? Okay, and this is where the stories get bad. Well, not really the wrong moment. I mean, it's more just my family has a very sick sense of gallows humor. Like, the only way we get through tough times is through humor. So I'll give you a couple examples. And I hope this doesn't change anyone's opinion of me. Like, really, it's so, oh my God, but this is how my family works. So when my dad was sick, one day, my siblings and I, we were all at my parents' house, just hanging out, spending as much time as possible, and my parents' router went out. And we were all just sort of brainstorming, what kind of new one to get, where to get a new router. And my brother-in-law says, well, everything dies eventually. And without missing a beat, my dad goes, yeah, like me in 2 weeks. We laughed and cried at the same time. I couldn't believe it. It was just, but it's a way to break the tension. Like, but he didn't miss a beat. Oh my God. And then the day my dad passed away, I went to hospice in his room. My siblings and my mom were already there. I went and I literally threw myself on my father's body, like inconsolable. Throw myself on his body, sobbing, holding his shirt. After 10 minutes, one of my uncles goes, Christina, if you keep that up, he's gonna come back down here and he's gonna yell at you for ruining his shirt and getting snot all over it. And we had to laugh, in the worst moment, the worst day of my life, just that comment. And I know my dad was laughing at that too. So yes, I have a very inappropriate family, but please, I hope no one was offended by that. Please don't judge me. And I think I need another sip after that. I said I wasn't drunk, but I might be by the end of these questions. Oh. Okay, so the next question. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, all the places you have piercings or tattoos on your body. Okay, here, I'll put the dolls down. So, this is my first tattoo. And it is the GPS coordinates of my childhood home. And my best friend has the same coordinates. This is our best friend tattoo. So, my best friend, she moved in next door when we were 4 years old. We've been best friends ever since. She's not a Dolly person. I don't even think she watches my videos. Sometimes her daughter does, my niece Kira. I hope Kira's not watching this one because it's not appropriate. But Di, if you happen to see this, look, our tattoo. So the summer before we started high school, Diana's dad got a new job out in Nevada. So they moved out there, but a couple years later, Diana really wanted to graduate high school with me and all of our friends, like the people we all grew up with. So my parents agreed to let her move back in with us, take care of her, and so we could graduate together. So we got bunk beds, shared a room, the last 2 years of high school. So me, Diana, and my sister, so 3 teenage girls in one house, my poor parents. So she really did grow up in my house with me, so that's why we picked, our childhood home, just to symbolize that whenever we're together and standing shoulder to shoulder, we're home. So I love her to death. Anytime we disagree or get in a squabble, our go-to quip is always, all right, I'm cutting off my tattoo and mailing it to me, we're done. Or mailing it to you, we're done. So that was my first one. this is my other tattoo, and it says, "And though she be but little, she is fierce." I know it's hard to make out on camera, but that is my favorite Shakespeare quote. I love it. And that was done on my 30th birthday. That was a 30th birthday gift. And then on my back, which you really, oh, you can kind of see it here. I'll kind of. So I have the logo for Rent on my back. You can only see a little bit of it. But Rent is my favorite musical of all time, so I just have the logo for Rent on my back. And then I have my nose ring, of course. And that's the only thing I would do to my face. I wouldn't like pierce anything else on my face really. But I do want to get a memorial tattoo for my dad. I want to get, I think maybe on this arm. What I want to do is get 2 goldfish, because when I was growing up, my dad would always make up bedtime stories about these 2 goldfish named Flippy and Jumpy. And they lived with their humans, Jenny and Jack, in Chicago, and they had all these adventures. And that was my bedtime story. He made up a different story every night. So I really want to memorialize that with just 2 goldfish named Flippy and Jumpy. So that is my next tattoo idea. I don't know when. Tattoos are expensive. They're very expensive, but they're addictive. Like, I love tattoos. And like this didn't hurt at all. This didn't hurt. This hurt only because of all the black. Like all the shading, like all the black right there. Whew, that was painful. Let me tell you. Yeah, that was the most painful tattoo. Ugh, sorry guys. This is a long video for me. I usually keep it, you know, quick and short and sweet, but I am loving these. So yeah, so those are my tattoo stories. Can you spend all your money on something stupid? Well, of course. Like, I'm great at spending money, and on something stupid is just subjective. So yeah, I think that's super easy for anyone to do. Now, if something makes you happy, is it stupid? Well, that depends. I mean, people can argue that, like, drugs or something make them happy, so they're spending money on it, but, I mean, that's a stupid decision. But for the most part, as long as it's not illegal, spend money on what makes you happy. That's what I say. So the next question is, would you drop your phone after you just bought it? I don't understand. Does that mean like on purpose? Like, obviously not on purpose, but like on accident? Like, yes, I'm very clumsy, so I would absolutely have the luck of dropping a new phone. Yeah, that would definitely happen to me. The next question is, do you always smile for the camera when taking pictures? Selfies, no. I usually try to be more seductive. Yeah, with like groups of friends, or, you know, when I know the picture is being taken, I try to smile. You know, my smile's kind of cute. Try to see if one of these can be a screenshot. Those screenshots are so hard to get. So the next question is, what did you dress up for Halloween as when you were a kid? So only a couple come to mind that I remember specifically. One year my mom made me a Maggie Simpson costume. So I had like the head with like the points, like the starfish, and a long nightgown, and I had a pacifier. I was probably like 7 at that point, but still, like I was like crawling along, and then like, my nightgown was so long, like I would trip anyway, like baby Maggie does in the show. So that was kind of funny. So that was a pretty fun costume. And then another costume I got so many compliments on. I just went as a housewife with my hair in curlers and rollers, cold cream on my face, and a robe. That was it. And people just thought that was hysterical. Oh, and I had like a coffee mug. I was just a housewife. So yeah, those are only 2 that I remember offhand. I'm not really great at coming up with like creative Halloween costume ideas, especially since lately, like, I haven't really gone to a Halloween party or anything. If I had, you know, an event to actually dress up for, I'm sure, you know, I'd come up with something pretty fun. But yeah, so we are at number 31. And that question is, sleep with the closet door open or closed, bedroom door open or closed? Well, the closet door has to stay closed. Well, my cat would get in otherwise, but even without my cat, yeah, that would scare me. And my bedroom door is always open. Now, if I'm staying somewhere else, like someone else's house, of course, the bedroom door usually stays closed, but in my apartment, my bedroom door, yeah, I leave it open. The next question is, do you take shampoo, conditioner, lotions, soaps, etc. from hotel rooms when you leave? No, because none of that crap works on my hair. These bottles are so tiny, they're not gonna do anything for my hair. I need my own product, so no, they're kind of worthless for my hair, at least. But good for you if you can make it work for your hair. The next question is, what do you dip a chicken nugget or chicken tender into? Well, it depends on where from. If it's a McDonald's chicken nugget, spicy buffalo. If it's from Wendy's, honey mustard. If it's from Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A sauce. Anywhere else, ranch is my go-to. I love ranch. I love chicken nuggets though, I do. Oh, chicken nuggets are so good. So yeah, I'm not too picky. Anything but blue cheese. Like, no. The next question is, can you change the oil and the tire of your own car? No. I don't own a car. And even when I did briefly, no, I never knew how to do that. The next question is, ever gotten a traffic ticket? So actually, yes. When I was a teenager. So I did learn how to drive. I got my driver's license at 16, but after I totaled 2 cars, my parents said, yeah, maybe not. Maybe driving's not for you. But when I was in high school, this was probably like 11th grade, so I was like 17. I was on my way to school. So it's like, it's super early. It's like 6:30 in the morning or whatever. And school wasn't far. It was like a 7-minute drive, if that. So I'm pulling out of my neighborhood, my subdivision, and after a couple minutes, I realized this cop car is behind me with the lights on. So I stopped, and this cop said that I didn't make a full and complete stop coming out of my subdivision. Now you can see a mile down the road each way. Like, I knew no one was coming. I thought I had stopped. Apparently, I didn't stop long enough. So the cop gave me a ticket. I was hysterical. Hysterical. When I got to school, I mean, I could barely see the rest of the drive. Like, it's a miracle I didn't crash or do something worse. I was hysterical crying. Told you I'm a crier. So I got to school and I didn't even go to class. I went right to the library because I was always hanging out in the library. I really loved the librarians. So I went right there and I was crying to the librarians, like, I can't believe I got a ticket. Oh my God, this is so unfair. I think I stayed there for like 20 minutes and they wrote me a note to go back to class once I was a bit calmer. But I thought it was so unfair. Like, don't you have actual tickets to write? Like, for people who are doing something more dangerous? Like, come on. Come on. It was like $70, $75. And this was back in like 2000 or so, no, like 2002. So over 20 years ago, a $70 ticket, I'm sorry, I do not think that was called for at all. And I wish I remembered that cop's name. Okay, so the next question is favorite sandwich. Oh, hamburgers. I mean, I love most, like, well, I don't know if that counts. So hamburgers are like my basic all-time favorite food. But if you mean like a traditional like deli sandwich, like turkey. I love turkey sandwiches. I love chicken sandwich, like just a chicken breast sandwich. Pretty much anything on a bun, I love. Well, I take that back. I don't love ham. I don't really love ham sandwiches, and I don't eat seafood, like a fish sandwich, no. But anything else, yeah, bring it. So the next question is zodiac sign and Chinese sign. I'm a textbook Pisces, 100%. Every definition of Pisces is me to a T. Now my Chinese sign, I was born the year of the ox. And I am very stubborn, but I don't know the rest that goes into being an ox per se, but I do know that's my Chinese sign. Number 38, can you curl your tongue? No. Number 39, fears. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Fear, I have a fear of failure. I have a fear of being alone. I do have a little fear of the dark. I always have to have a nightlight. Those are the main ones that come to mind. Yeah, but I don't like to focus on my fears because that makes them bigger. So you have to be very careful with that, I think. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really, well, I guess you could also say I don't really like insects or snakes, but I don't know if I would call that like a fear necessarily, just because, I don't know, I feel like my fears are more psychological than like fear of anything physical, if that makes sense. So the next question is fave childhood memory. Oh, so many. So when I was little, my dad used to take me to the grocery store every Saturday morning in my pajamas to get donuts for breakfast. He would just wake me up. I'd roll right out of bed into his truck. We'd go to the grocery store, get a dozen donuts, and everyone always said how cute I was. They always thought it was like the most adorable thing. This little girl and her dad getting donuts, on a Saturday morning. And my friends loved it too. I always had a lot of sleepovers growing up. So like whatever friend was sleeping over, would always come with us. So that was great. Just Christmases at my grandma's house back in the day with everyone, all the cousins, huge extended family. Those are some of my favorites. Next question is most valuable lesson learned in life. So this is a tough one because I'm learning a lot of lessons right now. So I would say the most valuable one can be summed up in a quote from my dad. And one of the things he always said was a fish always dies by its mouth. Meaning the truth always comes out. People will always rat themselves out, show you who they are. Nothing stays hidden forever. A fish will always die by its mouth. And it's very, very true. Yeah. The next question is, who are you named after? Okay, so originally my mom wanted to name me Maxine, but my dad said everyone would call me Maxi Pad, and he didn't like that. So I'm actually named after Joan Crawford's daughter in Mommy Dearest. My mom loved that movie, and so no wire hangers ever. Classic movie. And my mom loved it. She thought Christina was cute, so I'm named after Christina Crawford from Mommy Dearest. I only found that out a few years ago, actually. My mom kind of hid that from me. And then my middle name, Isabel, is after one of my dad's sisters who passed away. She was Marissa Isabel, and she died before I was born. It was really sad. She was like 20 years old. She died in her sleep. I've heard different versions growing up because my dad didn't like talking about it. My grandparents never wanted to talk about it. So it was kind of all like hush hush. But she did die in her sleep from a bad heart. Something happened to her heart is all I know. And that was back in like 81, I want to say. So I always wondered, I guess, I kind of thought my older sister would be named after her, like either Marissa or Isabel. But my sister was born in 1982, so I guess it was still too raw at that time. So I guess my parents didn't really want to use a name or name their child after her, you know, that soon after. But my youngest cousin is named Marissa after my dad's sister as well. She's only like 20, so I think by then enough time had passed where my grandparents, you know, were kind of okay calling another kid Marissa. So yeah, so that's my name story. And this little Christina too. The next question is, who inspired you growing up? Wow, so I really admired my mom's cousin Peggy. She was an actress. She lived in New York. She's very much like me. Like, we have very similar personalities. And I always loved Peggy. She was always a lot of fun. Now, we never lived near each other. So anytime I knew Peggy was visiting or we were going to visit, I would get so excited to see Cousin Peggy. She was just always so much fun. I always looked up to both my grandmothers, of course. My mom's mom, my Grammy, I really admired her creativity. She was an amazing artist. Like, she made incredible stained glass, and she was an amazing seamstress. She was really great at the sewing machine. We had sewn a few things together, you know, when I was younger. We would actually make doll clothes together, and I wish I still had some of that stuff. So yeah, that's who I admired growing up. The next question is favorite book. Sandra, I can't believe you don't like reading. I'm the biggest bookworm, so this is really hard to answer. Everything. It takes a lot for me not to like a book, but my favorite book of all time is Little Women. Little Women, just every time I reread it, it just gets to me. Like, it's just so relatable, even taking place, you know, so long ago, another century. It's still so beautifully written, so relatable. I love the characters. I love Little Women. I also love The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. That's an amazing book. What else? When I was a kid, I was all about the Animorphs series. Oh my god, it was the coolest books ever. Like, I was never huge into sci-fi, but like, kids who can turn into animals and fighting aliens, like, it was just my favorite book series ever. All during middle school. Love it. Next question is favorite quote. So this one also comes from my dad. One of his famous sayings was, "I felt sorry for myself because I had no shoes until I met a man with no feet." I know it sounds a little kooky, but my dad was all about gratitude, and that quote just always is a good gratitude reminder. Okay, so 5 questions left. All right, we're getting there. Our next question is, are you confrontational? No. I hate conflict. I hate confrontation. I am the type of person, if you stabbed me in the back, I would apologize for bleeding on you. If I can avoid it, I will not confront anyone. Now, under certain circumstances, of course, like, I'm not a complete pushover. I won't let people walk completely all over me, but as a general rule, if I can avoid it, confrontation, like, makes me sick to my stomach. Next question is, your favorite teacher ever? Mr. Waterman from 4th grade. Oh my gosh, Mr. Waterman was the best. He had this huge reading corner. He always read Roald Dahl books to us. He would do all the voices. He was just so cool. I'm friends with him on Facebook, actually. So I'm still in touch with him. He was the best. Loved him. I was always a teacher's pet. I loved most of my teachers, to be honest. But Mr. Waterman was really, really special. So the next question is, how many countries have you been to? Not as many as I would have liked. So I've been to Canada, Mexico, and England. Yeah, that's it. I mean, other than like the Bahamas and other island countries, yeah, that's really sad. The next question is, your most used curse word. Well, make it a phrase. I have been saying what the fuck for a couple years now. What the fuck? I still don't have an answer, but that's my go-to phrase. And finally, last question, number 50. Okay, you have 24 hours left to live. What do you do? Wow. So, going through my dad's illness and death, it did teach me a lot. I don't know how he was able to process that knowledge that, like, you never knew when you were going to wake up. I mean, none of us know if we're going to wake up, but I mean, like, when you know the end is near. But I will say, one memory, a few weeks before he died, we were all together hanging out in the family room. My dad wasn't really awake a lot at this point, but we would all still just sit around together and talk, just so he wasn't alone. You know, even if he wasn't awake, we would still talk amongst ourselves. And so one day, we were sitting there, and my little brother just happened to mention, like, offhand, that he didn't know what he was going to do for dinner. And my mom whips out this restaurant gift card and was like, here. And my sister and I look at each other and we're like, you have 2 other kids here who would also like to eat. What, you're giving it to the baby? You're giving it to him? Like, what about us? So we just started cracking up. And my dad just kind of opened his eyes and he said, this is what I love. This is what I want to hear. Just my family laughing. That's all I want, to be surrounded by my loved ones, hearing their laughter, hearing talking. Whew. I told you guys I'm a crier. But yeah, wow, 50 questions, and this is like my longest video ever. We're at like 48 minutes. So I am gonna end it here for now. I still have to finish cleaning up the dishes. Sorry for the mess behind me. I should have prepared better. But I did want to answer those questions before too much more time passed. And just when I had the time tonight, I just thought that was a lot of fun. So thank you, Melissa, for tagging me. And thank you, Sandra, for your answers. They were a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it was a different kind of video, but hopefully, you know, it gave you a few laughs and hopefully you know a bit more about me. So if you did make it this far, I want to thank you so much for watching. And have a great weekend, whatever you have planned. I hope everyone enjoys. And yeah, I will see everyone next time. Take care, guys.